On June 24, the Uttar Pradesh School Board came up with some significant changes in the syllabus of the 9th to 12th standard for the academic session 2023-24. A significant move that saw the addition of 50 eminent personalities to the student syllabus. I should glance through the list of these eminent figures. But as soon as the board announced the names, it was a moment of outrage all of a sudden for the liberals. But what was that movement? Let us define. Here's a tweet. Savarkar in Nehru kept out of the list of great leaders in UP. Another tweet. Proof of inferiority complex. Looks like the Congress toolkit is out. And the biggest problem here is the misleading tweets. The Indian Express report confirms the addition of biographies of Hindutva icon VD Savarkar, Maratha ruler Chhatrapati Shivaji, tribal leader Birsa Munda, freedom fighters Sri Ram Sharma and much more. But so is the confirmation of the addition of the biographies of spiritual leaders like Swami Vivekananda and Dayananda Saraswati, while Mr. Nehru's exclusion remains untouched. This means Nehru was never removed in the first place. Meanwhile, Uttar Pradesh Secondary Education Minister Gulab Devi came up with a befitting reply. She says the opposition has a problem with every progressive project that the state tries to implement. The revamp of the higher secondary syllabus had the sole motive of making the younger generation know about the great freedom fighters and prominent personalities who contributed to the nation but were still ignored under the customs of ignorance. One more liberal out there. For him, kids born from 2000 are technology babies. They would Google Savarkar and Nehru. Obviously, Google doesn't lie, and then what? Well, this is a strange flex to have, since many who grew up studying Congress-led history were quite likely red-pilled into understanding about Savarkar through Google search, and now after the pushback, the truth is being mainstream. With Congress and so-called liberals, their version of the history is the only version of the history, and in their version, Savarkar is vilified. The left has always hated Savarkar for being a Hindutva leader. They've spread lies about his mercy petition. Savarkar spent 27 years in the cellular jail in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where prisoners were made to eat food riddled with worms, flogged and had no contact with the outside world. They were deprived of medical aid. Savarkar was subjected to unspeakable cruelty. On the other hand, the jail time for Nehru was nothing short of vacation. He had a bungalow to himself in so-called jail, where he could have decor of his own choice, blue curtains. During his leisure time, he could do gardening or read and write books. Surely no one was going to write mercy petitions while chilling in luxury so-called jails. This is where Congress and its lackeys are afraid. They're afraid that the more people get to know about Savarkar, the more Nehru and his follies will be exposed, which is why, for Nehru to be great, Savarkar must be vilified. Keep watching the pamphlet.